Hi, welcome to Kendall's Greenhouse. I'm Kendall and this is my beach house in Seabrook, Washington. Seabrook is a new urbanism town built kind of similar to Seaside, Florida on the Pacific coast. It's about 2 hours from Tacoma, where we live during the school year. And I've done a couple videos of my garden kind of back in time and in the spring, and it's officially summer. It's the end of June, so let me show you around a few things that are blooming and beautiful and a couple things that are not beautiful. Thanks for joining me. We're going to start the tour a little differently today because it's just so beautiful. It's the end of June and we're walking out of my front door. Can you believe how gorgeous the lighting is? There's the Pacific Ocean out there and my front garden. And the sun this time of the year sets behind the neighbor's house here. So we get some really different lighting patterns. In the fall, the sun sets over the water over there. So you can kind of watch it move. Let's do a check-in on the hanging baskets really quick since we're over here. Can you see those, or are they too backlit? There's some petunias growing, some fuchsia getting ready to bloom, hanging down there. They might be too backlit to see much. Let me see if I can get an angle from the other side. Go down the stairs here. Okay, let's see here. Here's the side porch. There's a little bit of sun on them still. You can see the nasturtiums are blooming there. We have the 4th of July lights getting staged. So far, I'm really liking the baskets. The nasturtiums do require some trimming. They get a little wind whipped, especially this front basket here. But so far, I'm pretty happy with that as a choice. So I guess we're gonna start at the side gate today. I just moved this pink geranium over here because I wanted a little trio of containers. What do you think about that? I think that looks better than 2. Oh my gosh, there's a dog poop bag on the right. Just ignore that. There's no dog poop bag. I even tried to clean up a little bit for you guys today. There is just no cleaning, really. All right, here's the dog everyone thinks is my dog, and it makes them laugh as they walk by our house. And then there's some hydrangeas. You can see they are struggling a little bit with the heat and the wind. They get kind of brown on the tips, but this one's a little protected by the Escallonia hedge. Look how tall that hedge is getting next to the fence. We asked the town not to trim the hedges this year because we want the Escallonia blooms. So I'll try to show that to you in a minute here. This is the blue waterfall Campanula. You can see its growth pattern where it has the leaves in the center and then it pushes the shoots out. The bloom shoots out to the sides. This one is not even the biggest one. Isn't that pretty? And then the feverfew there under the hydrangea standard is getting ready to bloom. There's a couple little buds on it. Oh, I have to show you. I'm going to come up on the porch so I can show you. Just this morning, look who decided to join us. This perennial poppy. I like squealed in joy. You can't see the inside right now. I might have a little video that I can pop in. Are those not so gorgeous? They have a really pretty black center. And there's a bunch more buds coming along. So I transplanted these. They're 3 years old, but they didn't bloom at all last year. So I'm really excited to have some blooms this year. Here's the honeysuckle. I added a second one of these plants. Over there, you can see it starting to climb up onto the front of the porch. And it turns out the hummingbirds like these, and we love the hummingbirds, so that is perfect. So I'm up on the porch, kind of on the side porch, and here's our view of the limelight hydrangea tree. It also gets a little bit beat up by the wind and the sun, you can see in there. But so far, the last couple years we've had it, it has managed to still bud up and bloom at the end of summer. So let's walk down our path. This is where the corkscrew rush has seated itself along the path. Oh, and we can get a little peek while we're down here of the saxifrage I planted. And there's one up there too. The dark red and this light are the same variety. I think they're called early picotee. They are so cute. We have some of our sweet peas we grew from seed. Pretty soon I will need to tie that up to the trellis. There's a grouping there and a grouping over here. There's some black mondo grass kind of nestled in there with the creeping jenny. Some sedum. Oh yeah, there are a few feverfew flowers in there. Hi cuties. There's a nice hellebore, just some green interest during the summer. And I just tucked these saxifrage everywhere. Here's another one. I cannot believe they bloomed. I was expecting them to take a while and put on some green. They just decided to go for it. This is a Calamintha nepida, subspecies nepida, I think, and just a regular pink geranium. And the Arneria montana is almost done. It has a couple just white blooms on the top, but that's, you know, in a pot. I think it's a little suffocated by now. There's the end of some checker mallow, the purple on the tips, and we did get a peony bloom, one peony bloom this year. She was white and fabulous. You can see a couple sweet peas sneaking up through the other foliage here. There's a clematis climbing up the peony from the trellis, and there's another sweet pea back there close to the daisies. There is a lot planted here. I kind of don't notice until I try to start saying everything. You can see some salmon berries sneaking in there. I need to pull that out before it gets too rooted. And it looks like the hollyhocks in the back there have some buds on them. As far as the pots are concerned, we are getting some raspberry berries, which is really fun for my 10-year-old. Let me show you. We've been snacking on those. They do taste different than strawberries. I don't know if I like them. They're a little sour. But it's fun to have a couple little fruits in the front to pick. There's some nasturtiums I just snuck in the pot. I don't know what to do about this rosemary. It is not happy. You can see how yellow it is in the center. I might cut that back. The sage and the oregano is doing okay. I think I need to trim that oregano back. I have a few kind of ugly lilies that are just getting so beat up by the wind out here. I don't know. I hate to kill things that are doing well. Let's do a loop. So let's go down on this side and then come back around. We're just changing things up today. So the crocosmia surprised us. This is Crocosmia lucifer. Surprised us with some buds this week. Let's see if I can get a close-up on this or not. So that's going to be red, and all these are red. Usually they bloom just in time for 4th of July, which is really fun because we have a white house, red Lucifer crocosmia, and then blue hydrangeas. I'm going to hold you up a little bit so you can see we have a lot of blue hydrangeas there. We still have some red valerian blooming. That is a long blooming plant. And then the daisies are looking gorgeous this year. I'm still planning to pop something in right there behind them, but I think I will probably leave them mid-border because they are bright and cheerful. Then I popped some lilies in here today. We'll see if those can survive. This is one of my favorite geraniums by Okovo. And this is a Cape fuchsia over here on the left. Managed to survive the winter. There's a pink hebe on the left. Oh, and we cannot forget this self-seeded Love in a Mist. Nigella is just so pretty, dancing in the wind here. You see how it seeded itself right into the pathway gravel. So cute. Oh, and also coming through the pink hebe, you see those little buds coming up? Those are allium, just like a summer allium. Really, really cute. What else? Did I miss anything? There's a couple other geraniums in here. There's a taller geranium coming up through the crocosmia there. Oh, here's a couple buds of that. That might be Roseanne or similar. There's some alliums that are a little more well developed. And then these are some of the buds of the sedum. I don't know what sedum this is. I just bought it a couple years ago and it's welcomed itself to the garden. We have this variety of bladder campion. I think this is the kind I bought from Floret a couple years ago. I popped one in and it's a perennial. I'll see if I can find the name of that. And then in the back here, there is some Gara called the Bride. It's a tall Gara, and that'll bloom a little after the Crocosmia. And then popping up back there, you can see some Verbena bonariensis. There's one over in the sticks over there too. And then I think that's what this is, popping up behind the hydrangea. Look at how cute this Campanula is climbing up into the hydrangea there. Can you see it in the middle? It is so cute. Oh, one of them's popping out over here. Look how cute that is. So if it doesn't have enough space to spread, here it is at the base of the hydrangea. It kind of spread out. Let me back up a little so you can see. It spread out and then it spread up into the plant, and then some alyssum seeded itself in the front. I mean, I'm sure I seeded it at some point, but it's blooming finally in the front there. Love this combination. So, so cute. So here's a view back that bed. And then my pots are kind of sad right now. They're just slinking along. I'll probably change them up when I am out here a little bit more over the summer. But for now, they're just surviving. There's some alliums in that one. Oh, this is hilarious. Some garlic fell back here. I was drying it on the porch. These are garlic flowers. So those are super fun. And then back here, there's a clematis in that pot. So I need to train. It's pretty dark. I don't think you can see it. And then there's some penstemon that's been seeding itself around. Very seedy. And she moved herself in front of the hydrangeas, which is actually really pretty over here. And then she's seeded herself in the pathway here. There's another alyssum. And then I transplanted one of her little seeds into that container there. So she's been busy. This is a rush that seeded itself. It's getting huge. I need to cut it back. And there's some blue star creeper at the base of it. I think this is the white blue star creeper. Looks very white to me, and that's kind of spreading along the stones, although the stones at this point are completely covered. I thought Rudbeckia had seeded itself in the path, and it turns out it's this big leaf plantain, which is pretty, but I'm just going to pull it all up and I won't feel guilty about it. All right, so here is my hose all bunched up. We've been plugging the hose into, let's see if you can see it from here. That little orange thing at the, over by the seats there, that's a sprinkler. And then at the house, it's plugged into a Ratio home hose timer. So that's how we've been watering during the week, just the front sunny part of the yard while we're gone. This back part seems to do fine because it's so shady under this alder. Look how low these alder branches are. They're like chest height. I'm gonna need to trim some of these back. So just to check in under here, I'm gonna have to duck. Ooh, we've got some pretty hydrangeas down here. The GMs are almost done, but there's a lupin bud here. Here's the seating area in the corner. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time here today, but let's just look at some of these hydrangea blooms. So, so pretty. Look how big this one is. I know it's kind of hard to tell. There's another penstemon back there. See if I can put my hand by it. Can you believe that? And there's so many buds on here. And I felt like I trimmed this pretty aggressively. Really pretty. All right, you can see the liatris coming up from this angle. I'm gonna bend down so you can kind of look up the hill here. Those are liatris. And on the left is I said the wrong thing last time, it's Eryngium, I think, the sea holly. You can see the pretty color against the sky there. That's definitely doing better this year. There's a little bit of catmint. It's a little dark for the catmint, but it's making a go of it. Then the saxifrage is putting on more green now. Its flowers are pretty much done. And I noticed, see if I can get under there, I noticed the hydrangeas are putting on flowers. Oh, look at this. This is one of the little plugs I put in. I cannot believe how much they're flowering already. I just love that. I think it's called early picotee. All right, here are the hydrangea buds. You can see a couple of them coming on there. And I left some seed heads on the Camassia so I can come back and harvest them. I harvested half, but I read that they aren't completely ripe until end of June, and I want to try to germinate some. So that's what these kind of, you can see that they're still kind of green, and I think I want them to go brown. So I'm going to keep an eye on those. Look how far back this Campanula waterfall goes. So it's all the way over there. Let me show you where the center of the plant is. Here. Ridiculous. That's like 5 feet away. So it's a little deceiving because this is some catmint that was planted snug, and then they match really nicely. This is the Campanula. Here's the center of the plant. This is the most established one. And then I can't even back up far enough to see. Look, it's growing up into this hydrangea, into that Hebe, into the Rudbeckia, all the way over here, and then all the way back into that bed. It's just incredible. I love that plant, but you should know how far it likes to reach. I just think it's so pretty. Look at it mixed in there with the flowers of the oak leaf hydrangea and the Hebe. Right, there is some kind of weedy trefoil on the top there, but even without that, oh, the Hebe is starting to flower. That's what those little white things are on the tips of the Hebe. Oh, so pretty. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, oh, I found another hydrangea bud right there. All right, so that's our little kind of shady part of the garden on this side. Huge hydrangea collection. I meant to get a close-up of the Eryngiums. I'll have to do that next time. They're not really colored up yet. Look at how big this Escallonia hedge is, not being trimmed. I'm going to turn around to the left now. So there's the other hydrangea I said I was going to pull out and still haven't done it. And then the Escallonia buds, yeah, you can kind of see the blooms there. The birds have been going in and out of this bush all day, so I think they might have a little nest in there. And then, yeah, I've got some open room over here. I've been plugging things in slowly. There's the rock cress I pulled out of a pot and put in the ground. There's the Centaria montana. These Hebes are slowly coming back. Oh boy, there's some vetch. This is a weed. I don't want that in there. Can't help it, I have to pull it out. I know we're in the middle of a tour. All right, let's pull some of that vetch out. Okay, what else do we have? Still this saxifrage, my OG saxifrage, blooming. It's been blooming since like February or January. Incredible. There's some Monarda I poked in there. There's a Cosmo my friend Beth gave me. And what else? That Hebe I hacked back isn't looking so great. There's a couple lilies. There's some Campanulas there. And I think those are the same as the tall Campanulas here. Maybe just different light conditions, different soil. They're growing slower. Some more of our sweet peas tucked into the pot here, surviving. Oh, the thyme is blooming beautifully. There's a lot of this trefoil in here that blooms yellow. Bird's foot trefoil is what it's called. So I just kind of like pull it out a bit at a time. Oh, and there's even an iris back there. Let's go take a look at the iris. Hello, beautiful. Oh, I don't have a lot of places to walk here. All right, iris. And then the center of that will be a different crocosmia, like an orange color. And then the sweet spire is starting to bud up. Really a pretty foliage color. And then of course I pop hardy geraniums in everywhere. In the middle of that is a bush clematis. Oh, the calla lilies are coming back in these pots. Those have really fun dotted foliage. The salvia started blooming, and the sweet peas are surviving in this pot just fine. The night phlox is alive. It doesn't have a lot of buds on it right now. So let's just take a look back on this bed. Looking very pretty and lush. Oh, look at the owl pot. Looks cute from over here with the little sweet peas growing up. Let's get a little, oops, almost fell over. Let's get a little view of that. All right, I think we're about done. Here's a view up high of the pretty daisies. The honeysuckle that's growing. Lots of purple campanula right now. And then, oh, there are some lilies here forming buds. Really pretty. The James Galway rose in the corner there did get a flower on it, but I might have to walk you back to see the other one really quick. All right, we didn't do this side, so let's just do this pot real quick. There's another sweet spire back there. There's apparently a little bit of checker mallow in this pot. Some salvia. Oh, this night scented phlox has some buds on it, and it's late enough that they're open and smell great. We've cut this back together and it's flushed out just fine, and there's another calla lily. Oh my gosh, and some cute saxifrage underneath. How adorable is that? And we're coming back around. There is definitely an animal over there. See if we can get it on video. What were you? What was it? I didn't see it. Is it a bird? It seemed heavy. Are you coming back? Do you live there? Are you a squirrel? Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta go look. There's a lot of birds in the yard, but I don't usually hear them on the oyster shell down there. Where'd you go? All right, let's just look up from the porch here. Golden hour is starting. The trees look really pretty at golden hour out here. Take a look at the alder. She's getting very tall. All right, so this is our June tour at the beach house. Here's the honeysuckle. Really cute. There's another view of the poppies. And we will end by walking out the sidewalk to look at some of the James Galway roses down the block toward town. Ooh. Chilly wind. Okay. Ooh, there's some white geraniums over here. I better water this before I leave. They're cute. And there's some, these are Dalmatian Campanula, a really different bloom than the waterfall. You see how small the little leaves are in there. Kind of a similar structure though. All right, I said we were just visiting roses. Dun, dun, dun. Look how pretty they are. I love you. You are gorgeous. All right, look at that one that wants to live over there. So these are planted in one of those pots that I just put on my deck. If I haven't showed you that video yet, I'm about to show you a deck herb pot video, and that's a self-watering container in there. So these roses just get more consistent water than the other roses, and they're in a potting medium and not in native soil. So I think they're just a little bit happier, but they look like they could use some food. They're looking a little light. Roses get all sorts of diseases and things out here, so if you want to grow them, they're pretty harsh conditions, so you just gotta put up with that, but I think that's worth it. What do you think? You can let me know in the comments if you think it's worth it. I hope you enjoyed that tour. Thanks for joining me here at Kendall's Greenhouse. That's the name of my YouTube channel. I will hopefully be doing some greenhouse videos soon. We've been working hard to set up video cameras there to make filming a little bit easier. So hopefully you will like and subscribe and follow along so you can see a little bit more about my greenhouse and more about my gardens. Thanks for joining me.
Hang out with me, find yourself in Kendall's greenhouse.